Hey, what's up traders? Before you get into this video, we're running a contest for everybody who likes, comments, and to subscribe to my channel. We're gonna choose a winner at the end of the month, give you free access to my training academy, or if you're already a member of the academy, then a free strategy session with me, 30-minute phone call, get ironed out whatever part of your trading game you need help with. And yeah, so like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna choose a winner at the end of the month, and enjoy the video. Thanks for your support. Peace. What is up, brother? Welcome. What's up, Mark? Dinesh? Cool. It looks like people are already hopping on here. So yeah, let's get right into the price action. And just like last time, for people that weren't on this webinar, like first of all, keep your microphones muted, and just so you know it doesn't get any weird background noise coming in. So I'd really appreciate that. And yeah, so if you have any questions, I have it set up so you can ask in the chat box, and we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. I want to talk about the dollar more than anything, and I want to talk about EURUSD, of course. That's the big news in the market, I would say, beyond any, well, that and the S&P 500 going to all-time highs. And yeah, so, and also, since I'm going to record this and put it on YouTube, when you watch it on YouTube, like, subscribe, whoever ends up watching it. So cool. That being said, man, let's get right into it. And remember, if you have any questions, hit up the chat box, and we'll go over as many pairs as we can. I'll try to keep it within about 30 minutes, and I'll let you guys know exactly what it is that I'm trading right now. And which is, if you're in the VIP group, really no secret. I've been definitely trading oil, and I've been trading silver as well, and I'm definitely going to look at those. But seeing as though that New York session just ended, I think that we will probably see here in the next couple hours a nice rally in Australian dollar, US dollar, and I really like this. This trade and the signal that I sent out to the VIP group. And like, if you're new to my program and you're like learning divergence, this is one of the best examples of a bullish divergence that I've seen in a long time. And so this is on the 4-hour chart, and you can see just straight up how this is our price action. This bottom is deeper than this one, while the RSI though is still pointing higher. So sometimes you see bullish divergences, and it just the price might keep moving lower, but not in. I really think in the case here, it stands out to the point where I'm like, man, this is a example of a reversal plus the divergence. And so now that we've broken out of this nice trend line, and a lot of times when you see this setup too, does anybody, go ahead and ask a question, and you can answer in the chat box. What's up, Sean? What's the crack? That's the only Gaelic that I really know, Gaelic slang, but that and slancha. So the question is, what does this look like it's trying to form here? It's a simple question, and if you can recognize this, every time you have a reversal, nearly every time you have a reversal, you have a potential for this formation. So go ahead and guess if you want. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. I can give you a clue too, so I'll just do a screenshot here and draw it out myself. But something like that, potential inverted head and shoulders. Pullback, yeah, for sure. I mean, it is a pullback, but what we're forming here is an inverted head and shoulders, right? So we could be. A lot of times, like anytime there is this kind of setup in a reversal, you have like a bullish reversal here, you have that divergence on the RSI here. This is typically you see it all the time. So the question is though, dude, the dollar was so strong today. Despite the fact the dollar being so strong though, why didn't Aussie dollar like just break the F down, right? Why aren't we way down here? So like, because all I have to do, and tell me if this makes sense, we should be down here. I mean, look at Euro USD, just like complete sell-off, right? And it's just been dying. And we can take a look at the pound's been holding up pretty well. We could take a look at the dollar index and you can just see how much this has rallied, right? So if this is going on, what I'm getting at is why isn't Aussie dollar, why are we still like holding above that broken trend line? And to me, that means we're preparing for potential reversal. So, you know, the dollar index, it looks like we kind of broken out here. We haven't cleared these highs, which that's a pretty long way off. This is kind of what I'm looking at though. And if this is the case and we go up to challenge these highs, that means we have some more strength out of the dollar to continue. But a lot of this too was the euro breakdown because euro makes 54% of the dollar index. Okay, so a big chunk of this breaking down is the fact that the euro just really, you know, crapped itself. And so I do think there is the chance that we break down back inside here and like create a false breakout here. So, but or we retest. This is definitely possible that we just retest this broken trend line and then move higher. And if that's the case, you know, Euro USD could be trading much lower. But I bought it down here at 108.65. So, you know, we did get stopped out today, unfortunately. But, you know, this to me looks like a pretty big stop hunt. And, you know, we could be moving higher, or at least get a bounce. But I think out of all the pairs right now, if we're going to go bet against the dollar, I really think the AUDUSD looks like a good bet. And if you're not in the VIP group, I think this is a good trade for you to take. You could even, if you really wanted to be a gangster about it, you could set a buy limit like somewhere around this trend line, and then get some upside, which would come in around like 67.20. But that's about 20 pips off from where our entry is. So you know, it's not too big of a deal, but that would be an even better entry. So let's see, I don't see any questions, so I'll just keep on going. US dollar yen. So man, are we breaking out here too? This is a huge deal, like big deal, because we've been capped in this formation for literally years now, and we're trying to break out here. If we can really close above and break out, say the dollar index keeps going higher, and you know, we could be going up to 112, and this will make an excellent buying opportunity, and we could be going higher than 112, you know, if the dollar just balls to the wall. But right now it looks like we're in kind of breakout mode. So it's going to be interesting to see how this follow through is coming into Asian session, coming into New York session tomorrow. What do I think about dollar CAD? Let's take a look, man. And I like dollar CAD to the downside, and I can never find this pair. Here it is. I like it to the downside. And Tiago, I think you were on, actually I'm pretty sure you were on our webinar yesterday, but look, we have a false breakout here. And I was talking about this on yesterday's webinar. And if this type of setup now, and I talk about this in the training, you want to look for opportunities to sell rallies. If we get a bounce here, this is going to create, and you know, it looks like we're trying to, say we get a bounce up here to retest this trend line, this is going to be excellent selling opportunity because we've broken out and had a false breakout here. So, you know, false breakout typically leads to a breakdown, right? So if we're living by that mantra, then we can, you know, be pretty comfortable that, man, maybe I can be a seller right here and, you know, let the market come to me and really set up for a more, you know, short position. And if you're holding a trade now, which, you know, we've been holding, we knocked out 2 take profit targets in VIP here. If you're still holding those trades, great. You know, you can take some profits off the table here and, you know, wait for a little bit of a bounce and re-enter on a high. And hopefully we get a bounce. And so the opposite side of dollar CAD, if we're going to look at that, you know, we have to look at oil market. And this has been very good for me today. You know, we're in breakout territory for sure on oil. So I would love to, I'm hoping for a dip here to buy. I took a lot of my profits off the table from New York session on here. So I hope I get a little bit of a opportunity to re-enter. But you can see, you know, we're filling these wicks right here. And of course, you know, it's almost 4 o'clock, so the oil market's about to close. But I think any dip that's coming through now in crude oil should be looked at as a buying opportunity. And hey, what do you know? So just like I talked about how, you know, when you get a reversal right here, this looks a lot like a potential inverted head and shoulders. You know, it's not, I'd say it's borderline because this is lower or about equal to the head. Typically you want to see it shorter, but we still have kind of this pattern setting up. So hopefully we can get a little dip here to buy into. And we got a couple questions here. Okay. All right. Thanks, Herman. And what caused the euro to break down today? Man, you know, that is a great question, man. I don't know, to be honest. Like, fundamentally, I'm not sure what is going on with the euro for it to for that to happen. Yeah, Tiago, you're on here. I'm gonna make a note in my phone from what Herman said on here. Let's see, but I'm not sure what exactly, other than institutional trading going on. And you know, you have to remember that the banks already have these numbers in play of where they would like to see the market to go. And you know, obviously, I thought 109 was going to be super solid support here, and of course it wasn't, right? So that's the way that's the way it goes. And you know, I'm sure the powers that be, when it came to that kind of thing, knew that most retail traders would think 109 is the support level, right? So it wasn't just us that lost that trade. I can guarantee you that. But we have a big opportunity here to make that up on crude oil and some other. And man, this thing just moved since we started looking at it. So really like crude. If crude keeps moving higher, and my target for this is the 38.2 retracement. And you know what? I'm gonna actually go ahead and send that to the VIP group so you guys have it. I'll get that out here after the webinar, and so you guys have my targets. But I like the 38.2. and we have multiple confluences here. And I forgot who it was in the VIP chat that said confluences are the secret. You know what, man? They really are. So because we can look at not only secret for support and resistance, but secret for target, right? So we have our breakdown and a false breakdown below this supply zone. And here's a trend line going up, and the trend line just so happens to meet up at this 38.2. We have multiple 38.2 Fibonacci levels. So, you know, this is like a tractor beam. Like it's probably not going to go, you know, within the next hour or, you know, but it could be there by the end of the week, man. Oil's crazy once it starts moving like that. So I really like that setup. Take a look at NZD Swiss. Okay. It's as far, yeah, Marcus. So as far as oil goes, definitely the news, definitely OPEC. Yeah, Brexit and the euro definitely is has potential as well. So let's see, NZD Swiss. I mean, this looks pretty bullish to me. So I think, like, I wouldn't be looking to sell against the New Zealand dollar right now. So just like I said earlier, Aussie US dollar, super strong. We had a big move last night in Asian session with the New Zealand dollar. Right, so we had this big move, and we're just seeing massive risk on, just massive risk on, like all-time highs and every indice, U.S. indice. I mean, look at the Dow right now where we're ending the day. So with that being said, I don't see much of a case for the Swiss franc to gain much strength. You know, we might see a dip and some temporary strength out of it, but I would assume that that New Zealand Swiss goes higher. But you know, we are hitting some resistance here, so I think it might be good for a pullback and some sort of dip, and then which might create a good buying opportunity. What's up, Ram? And yeah, I can look at Euro Swiss, and of course this just goes along with Euro USD. It's just been dripping lower, man, frustratingly. And this, when it does, I do think that when this does, if it ever does, all you have to, like, look at this on the monthly. Like, this is a pretty sorry looking chart. But we have divergence all the way across the board. Monthly chart, maybe not so much in the weekly chart here, but definitely on the daily. So, and you can see how we're starting to wick off here. So, I mean, I think we're on some support. We may continue to drip 10, 20 pips lower, but you know, I think we're on support here. And once it finally does take off, I think that it's a pretty good candidate for at least 100 pip trade. I want to look at silver because I'm trading that as well. And so we're at the bottom of this big pennant formation. And, you know, I caught a good bounce here at 17.5 and then took some profits and we dripped down a little bit. And I'm still holding those trades in a little bit of drawdown right now, but I'm not too worried about it because of the overall bullishness of the metals. And this is a bullish structure, right? So my one concern is in terms of my own trade that because I have this marked out here as a false breakdown, which it was, but if we kind of start to drip lower into something like that, either way, it is going to make a excellent excellent buying opportunity because we're still in this big uptrend. And, you know, this also looks potential inverted head and shoulder like, right? So we could be carving out a right shoulder here. So I do like silver because this looks like it has a lot more of a structure than gold does right now. You know, gold's not wanting to give up any gains at all. So, man, you know, it could be just a matter of time before this takes off again because it is not moving lower. That is for sure. But I'm really hoping that we get a move lower because for both of these metals, I'm okay with silver going lower because I know it's just going to create a better buying opportunity at the bottom. Let's see. I think yeah, I was just looking at Euro Swiss, Rom. So Euro Swiss, you know, we're at support right now. Okay, EJ. Sorry, Frank, I just saw that. Euro JPY, we almost in 40 pip. We almost caught 40 pips today, which is good. And you know, I think more downside. This looks like any bounce on euro yen should be looked at as a selling opportunity here, and that's definitely how I'm looking at it because we had a false break or a rejection here. You can see this big wick and then a move to the downside, and you know, and this is where we're ending up at the end of the day. So I would love personally to see a bounce here, you know, even back to 120 where we, you know, I've sold for our signal group at the 120 level for, I mean, the past 3 times it's been there, I put in a sell and it's been a hit take profit, you know, so that is like excellent zone. If you see it hit this 120 level, you know, I think the best thing to do is be a seller right there for sure. And you know, the downside of that is that I would target this 61.8 right here. Which gives us, you know, over 100 pips of room to go because, you know, we really don't have, we've cleared these last few like boundaries and resistance levels. And, you know, unless Euro just does an about face and Euro USD goes back to 110 and it just like everything just changes, man, I don't see Euro yen going higher. In fact, you know, I just think it's going to go lower, and any bounce should be seen as a sell the rally type situation. Also, you know, I don't want to leave out GBP USD, and kind of same deal, man. We've been on a journey with pound dollar. Let's see. So we have been on a complete journey. Here's our entry. And you can see we came close to our stops, but now we're back below this trend line. And so actually, you know, I'm feeling, because we moved above that resistance level and back below it, I think that I feel a lot better about this trade. And, you know, if we get back below this 129.50 50 level, then, you know, I think we're in for more downside. And once and this is the thing, if the dollar index does just rally and start to rip faces off and just goes crazy, then we could see some serious downside here on pound dollar. You know, this is very tricky to trade right now for sure because of obviously all the Brexit news still going on. But, you know, you can see these candles here, and especially if you zoom in on this daily, right? So, you know, a big rejection. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more downside for sure. And yeah, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Somebody asked about Aussie NZD, and Francisco, if you want to shoot me a message, man, I'll answer your questions as well. Haven't looked at this pair in a while, but man, this talk about a false breakout. You know, I think this looks like a great selling opportunity. Because you can see we have a move higher and then a big rejection lower. And I guess this was from the news yesterday. This was that New Zealand news cycle. And we had to test up this trend line. So this could be a good trade to get into an Asian session. I'm going to see how see what happens with Aussie dollar, because again, out of all the stuff that I looked at, if I'm really like, man, I like that trade, it would be Australian dollar, US dollar. And then also, I do like, and we sent this out in the VIP group, this Aussie CAD trade. And you can see we're still moving to the downside here. This is a VIP trade. I think I sent the chart to the free group. And I'm really liking this because of its correlation with oil. And, you know, I honestly don't think it's too late to get in this one. If you're like, you know, if you're in the free group and you're just trying to check us out, you know, you can see here's a nice breakdown here. And I think this creates another selling opportunity on Aussie CAD. So I do think we could see some strength out of the Aussie dollar and the in the Asian session, but you know, that we'll find out about that. Really, the big thing is to see that whether or not the dollar keeps its strength or not. I think that's really what I'm going to be watching for. So that's kind of my breakdown from what I'm looking at now. Thanks for hopping on, everybody. And again, you know, if you just hopped on here to check us out, or if you followed the link from Instagram. No, I'm not. I work with them, Francisco, but you can send me a message if you like. But maybe you found me on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. But if you'd like to be a part of a real trading community that and mentored by somebody that actually cares, I'm telling you, man, I do care. I want to see you all succeed. It is so important too that a lot of new people are coming into the group. And if you're coming into the group, I couldn't urge you anymore to really like take in, work on trading a demo and work on just learning the game and being like, man, I just want to figure this out. I just want to learn how to beat it. And if you start to go about that mindset, I promise you, it'll make it way, way, way more fun. Hey, thanks, Tiago and T. I appreciate it, man. I really do. And what I was saying is that if you can just learn to play the game, it will be a game changer for you. And then the profits will come. But if you're just worried about, hey, I got $200 here and I want to flip it on these signals, that is not a sustainable strategy in trading Forex. So, you know, I go over mindset in my training course, and, you know, I've got some new ideas and new stuff I'm going to add to it as well. And I know that I talked about this yesterday, if you just go and like say, I'm going to go 90 days, I'm going to give this all I got, I'm going to learn how to trade, and you just take your time and go, first 30 days, I'm just going to study the course, I'm going to go through it a couple times, I'm going to practice it on a demo. The next 30 days, I'm going to take the signals and I'm going to use them with the course and the charts, everything that Clay shares and everything that's in the Ronin group. And I'm going to figure out what's going on. I'm going to watch all the videos, and I'm going to do my best to apply all the knowledge. And then the last 30 days, you really get involved in the community, get involved in the chat group, ask questions, share your charts. And I promise you, within that 90 days after you finish, you would be well on your way to being profitable, to being consistent. And like, you know, you'd be able to turn on your phone and like have and feel good about entering trades and what's going on in the market. So hey, you're welcome, Tiago. I appreciate it, man. And thanks, Ram. So yeah, so but give it 90 days. You have to be realistic about trading and what it entails. But I promise you, it is well worth the effort, and it's a lot of fun, man. So thanks for hopping on, everybody. I'll see you in the VIP chat, and yeah, let's crush it, man. Thursday, Friday, we got a couple more days to bank up some good profits. So all right, everybody, see you in the chat. Peace.